always love when Dr. Doug Gillum joins me on set to talk about science behind the weather, and today we're going to talk about something fascinating called teleconnections.
Yeah, it's a term that's not familiar to very many people, but it's the whole idea that the weather in one part of the world can impact what happens somewhere else.
Neat. Okay, so the best example that we have for this to show viewers is something like so.
Snow as a result, although sometimes the remnants of a typhoon can make landfall on the west coast of BC. But the whole idea here is that the typhoon changes the jet stream pattern, and there's a downstream effect over Canada about a week later.
And just for folks that, you know, when we think about our jet stream, that separates our warm air to the south and our cold air to the north. So when we get a shift in that, it can change things majorly.
That's right, and it steers our weather systems around the globe.
Right. Okay, so a couple talking points for us here. It's the link between weather patterns across widely separated regions in the world. Great example, El Nino, La Nina.
Yes, now that's something we're all more familiar with, and everyone wants to know, how will El Nino impact the upcoming winter?
That's right.
We'll talk about that over the next couple of days.
We will.
But we're going to talk today about another teleconnection. Again, that's how a typhoon can impact the jet stream pattern.
Okay, so it all begins, let's say, in the Pacific, Japan. We have a storm called Typhoon Nuri right now, you know, and then how that affects that jet stream once it crosses over the Pacific. Let's demonstrate here, Doug.
And that's going to bring some Arctic air to Canada next week.
I'm going to show you that. That is where we begin our Long Ranger story. All right, so we saw the trough and the jet stream. Let's begin with Sunday and how that cools the prairies off.
The Arctic air arrives in the western prairies, and we'll be watching the threat for significant snow for parts of central and southern Alberta, and finally an end to the rain for the south coast of BC.
Yeah, that's good news, right?
Yes,
the storm track goes a little further north.
Right, more spacing between systems, but not a completely dry pattern.
Now, Ontarians may not think about this as being very good news. Next Wednesday, we could see some lake effect snow.
Right, a multi-day lake effect event. Significant snow also piles up in northern Ontario.
You know what that means. That means some hefty snow amounts when you say multi-day.
Yes, sure do.
All right. Thanks anyway, Doug, for your analysis. Keep it here for your local forecast. That's next.